Sometimes you need to get knocked down before you can really figure out what your fight is and how you need to fight it. Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hear me well on this day. This day when you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education. You would rather find purpose than a job or a career.
Crossover Church started how long ago?
It actually started in the 90s, and then I came along and they had no youth ministry there. Started that in 1996 when I graduated from Bible college. And no plans to ever do anything but youth ministry and me doing my music.
It didn't take long for people to start the bite. You know your history, the classic example is rappers.
Urban D has a new album coming out. I've heard every album he's done. Urban D's new album is Unheard. Have you heard of Unheard?
Like chicken and teriyaki, Greeks and Slovaki, Canadians and ice hockey, like helmets and Kawasaki.
Urban D, we met through Rick Warren, through an event that happened out at Saddleback Church in California. He and I connected and heard about his fantastic church, and I always knew about the magazine and the things that he had been doing, but never actually met him. And through Atlanta, Georgia, I had great relationship with some guys through something called City Takers, a lot of different hip hop, spoken word artists through Atlanta, not understanding that a lot of those were birthed through the Flavor Fest that had been taking place for many years, and that he was at the forefront of making that happen.
Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose.
Pastor Tommy, really, it was my first pastor, and when I say pastor, I mean not just the guy that speaks at your church, but the person that shepherds you. And so Pastor Tommy has shaped me in my early years. I had some crazy radical ideas that he helped to even out. I owe a lot of my early development as a man, as a believer, to their faithfulness and Pastor T. And
I want to give a big heartfelt shout out to specifically Pastor Tommy. Thank you for this platform and for this opportunity. You know, people think I was a blessing to them, but you know, being here has been a blessing for me, man, in more ways than one. So hopefully you see this and you know what I'm talking about.
Man, Pastor Tommy, that's my road dog, man. But ever since I know him, like, he's just always been real. Like, he just took me under his wing and really taught me, you know what I'm saying, like the industry and the kingdom business and just what it's about. And like, he taught me it's not all about the music. Like, it's really about saving lives and changing lives, you feel me? So yeah, I really respect Pastor Tommy.
Shout out, you know, for Tommy and you know, for him just running with a vision for so many years. I know it's not always easy, you know, to carry something that God's given you, you know, in the way that he has and what he's done.
Pastor Urban D is an OG, so we call that, like, he's just kind of a tastemaker, a culture shifter, an influencer to influencers, and he's a personal friend and mentor to me. So
I grew up watching Urban D. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. So I'm a big fan of his. I'm a big fan of his ministry as a person, his heart.
Watching Pastor Tommy's journey of doing this for 20 years, serving ministry for 25 years, and really past couple years, me and him becoming good friends, and the role he just kind of like that big brother in my life, man. That it's not super like domineering in any way, but he's just like there, and that really means the world to me. Having guys that are kind of a season ahead of me. You know, his kids are a little older. He's been married twice as long. It's beautiful.
This brother has always been faithful, and he's always given his all. And so I you know, when you meet people like Tommy, you know that, you know, he's a real deal.
You know, I tip my hat to the Cross movement. I guess they have kind of just been pillars in my life and on this journey, and they're the reason I ever came to Flavor Fest to begin with. But you cannot tip your hat to Cross movement without also tipping your hat to Urban D. the founder of this church, of this ministry, of this conference, visionary, pioneer, platformer, Urban D is a good friend of mine. He is, the impact that he's made in the culture is unprecedented.
The dots trace back my earlier roots. My grandparents immigrated for food, not for loot. It ain't cute when you ain't got nothing to eat. Got no spiritual foundation under your feet.
Salute to Pastor Tommy, I love you.
Shout out to Tommy, shout out to Crossover Church. I love y'all. Y'all always been family. Y'all will always be family.
Yo, what up? This Bizzle with God Over Money. Shout out to Pastor Tommy.
Just want to thank Pastor Tommy for all the love and support. Shout out to Tommy, man, Urban D. You already know, man, we doing it up. We doing it for the kingdom, man.
My man, Urban D, love you, man. Love your family, love your church. This is how we do it.
My neighbor. My neighbor. My neighbor.
So let's love our neighbor as we love ourselves.